everybody. Thank you for coming down to the press room here at Mar-a-Lago, which is worth $1.5 billion. I was in New York today in the scam, sham, flim, flam, fake court of Judge Engoron. Judge Engoron. Do you believe this guy? He looks like Larry David with hair. Larry David with hair. A lot of things were said today. The judge said, I have some of the notes from today. Judge said I was committing fraud. I was committing fraud. Do you believe this? Me. I'm like the most honest person in the history of honesty. Honesty Magazine had me on their cover. I was their man of the year, Honesty Magazine. You can look it up. It's on sale. I get it. I read it for the interviews. It's a great magazine. The fact of the matter is that this case is a mess. First of all, Judge Engoron, he hates me. I don't know why, because he's just a left-wing puppet. He's a puppet. Engoron is a puppet. Are you watching? You're a puppet. So he's a puppet. The DA is a puppet. The Attorney General is a puppet. It's all puppets. It's a puppet show. The whole thing's a puppet show because they're all puppets, and they're working for the DNC. They're working for the DNC. Sleepy Joe. He looks sleepy, but he's not. Come on, man. What are you doing, man? No. I'm starting to realize that Joe is actually, he's not as smart as me. But he's very smart. But he's got this whole thing going on, and it's very sad because this is a victimless crime. This is a victimless crime. No victims, no crime. It's like in a murder. If you watch Law and Order, no body, no crime. And I think there's a song by the character from Scrooge, Marley. He sang a song, no body, no crime. Anyway, so I have because all these people who worked with me, they're very happy, 100% happy. I even wrote that down on my notes. Everybody's 100% happy. Victimless crime, everybody's happy. And all these banks, all my contracts have a disclaimer. Buyer beware. It's true. And I think it's very important that everyone knows when you sign a Trump contract, it has warnings. It has the buyer beware. It has the void where prohibited on pages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's the thing. I give you a contract. You got to do your own. You have to do your own due diligence, folks. Not me. You got to do your own due diligence. So maybe pages 3 through 16 are going to have that. Well, actually, I think the whole thing, right? Every page, at the bottom, at the top, they all have it. You got to do your own due diligence. And these people did. They had the best. They had great attorneys, fantastic attorneys, the best people. And do your own research. I always say that when we sign a deal. I always say, here's a contract. Do your own research. Don't believe me. Don't rely on anything I say. I tell them that all the time. That's the disclaimer. Don't rely on our financials. Rely on your own finance. You have your own people. What am I, doing your job for you? No, that's not happening. You're going to check my work, and you're going to see maybe I said something, maybe I didn't, possibly, and those numbers might be or may not be what you thought they were going to be, but that's why you check. Let's see, like I said, we're not going to do your job for you, right? My Fox people are here nodding their heads. So we've covered all that, which I think is very, very important. But we did. I want to mention the financial statements. The financial statements are very strong in terms of strongness and strength and liquidity of cash and the cash of liquidity, because the strength of the statements are borne out by their brute force of strengthness. And that shows you how fantastic they are in all those cases. And I'm not liable. I'm not liable for any of this. And, you do your homework, folks. Do your homework. Now, did I overinflate? Did I overinflate the value of my assets? Maybe I did. I don't know. I have a lot of assets. You forget. When you're super rich, you forget these types of things. But maybe I did. But the disclaimer clearly says that you can't rely or believe anything I said. And if you do, that's your fault. That's your fault. I'm talking to the people, not the people I work with, deal with, because they're 100% happy. They're very, very happy people. They're happy people. To the judge, because they have very smart people who do the things. But we have a disclaimer. That we put on all the contracts. The first 25 pages is the disclaimer. And it's very important. So here's some of I'm not going to do the whole disclaimer, but here's some of it. Do not remove this disclaimer under penalty of law. Very important. For optimum performance safety, please read these instructions carefully. Void where prohibited. Very important. Where it's prohibited, it's voided. Okay, void where prohibited. No representation or warranty expressed or implied with respect to the completeness, accuracy, fitness for a particular purpose or utility of those materials or any information or opinion contained herein. That's a lot of legalese, but it means very important things like you can't rely on what I said. All right, actual mileage may vary. So that I'm telling you right up front, actual mileage may vary. Price is slightly higher west of the Mississippi because a lot of those, specifically California, is a Democratic state, and there's a lot of fees and things like that. So that's gonna drive up the price. All models over 18 years of age. That goes back to my beauty pageants. I had 2 beauty pageants, Miss Universe and Miss Teenage Universe, and I did walk in on them, but I own the pageant, so I could do whatever I want. No animals were harmed during the production of this show. That was The Apprentice. The Apprentice, the #1 rated reality show on television ever. Biggest show. NBC owes me money. I'm talking to you, NBC. You owe me money. Any resemblance to actual people living or dead or events past, present, or future is purely coincidental. That's going to be if my life ends up being a movie or a book or something like that. This also applies to Home Alone 2. I was in that film. I was up for an Oscar. But they took it from me because Hollywood hates me. But that film made a lot of money because I had a very important role in Home Alone 2. Because I gave Macaulay Culkin the directions. Remember in the film, it was like, which way? And I said, you go that way. And if I hadn't done that, the movie would have fallen apart. Very important. Let's see. Some of the names have been changed to protect the innocent. That one was for Stormy Daniels. This product is meant for educational purposes only. That's the Trump board game. Some assembly required. That's all of my buildings. Batteries not included. Again, all of my buildings, or else Melania put that one in. I'm not sure. Packages sold by weight, not by volume. Contents may settle during shipment. This happens with the buildings too. The buildings, they might settle. So if you're like in your living room and you're like this, don't tell us. We don't want to hear it because we told you. Contents might settle. So you might be standing in your living room or your kitchen like this. Not our problem. Let's see. No user serviceable parts inside. That happens. And then used only as directed. Do not eat, not a toy. These buildings, the golf course, they're not toys. Don't stick them in your mouth. That's disgusting. Postage will be paid by the addressee. I'm a big believer in that. I cannot be bogged down paying for a lot of paperwork, especially in these cases by the fascistic, communistic, masochistic, horrible judge that we have in New York who hates me, and he's skinny, and he's very unattractive, and his glasses look like Coke bottles. If conditions persist, consult your physician. Again, I think that was Stormy. Subject to change without notice. I think that happens. That happens. Things change, folks. Things change. The world's changing all the time, but that's why we're gonna make America great again when things didn't change, but now they change, so you have to get used to that. Times are approximate, absolutely. Sometimes things take longer than other things, and that's because those things are more time-consuming. One size fits all. I don't know how that got in here. Colors may fade in time. True, but not these colors, not the colors of our fantastic flag. They don't run and they don't fade. Edited for television, I was watching the news on MSDNC, and they cut out some of the things I said, so that's editing. For office use only, list was current at time of printing. This was current at time of printing. Current at time of printing. Things change all the time. Participating locations only. You can only see me in one court this week, but I'll be in another court the following week. Keep away from fire or flame. Keep away from fire or flame. That's for Eric. Eric, stay away from the fire or flames. Avoid contact with the skin. Sanitize for your protection. Again, that's Stormy Daniels. Employees and their families are not eligible. Did everyone hear that? That's what I said. Beware of the dog. And that's for Biden, because his dog commander is biting all the Secret Service, who are my friends. I love the Secret Service, but that dog is a communist, and he hates the Secret Service, and that's why he's biting them. It's really horrible. A limited time offer, no purchase necessary. That's not true. How did that get in there? Not recommended for children under 12. I've always said that. Except for Ivanka. She's so pretty. This has been pre-recorded for this time zone. Some of the Trump trademarks mentioned in this product offering appear for identification purposes only, and are not Trump products. I want to make that very clear. It might have the Trump label, but it's not necessarily one of our products. Fresh if eaten before the date on the carton, subject to change without notice. I think I said that once before. Please allow 4 to 6 weeks for delivery, not responsible for direct, indirect, incidental, or consequential damage resulting from any defect or error, failure to perform, slippery when wet. There's a lot on here, but I think you get the idea that our disclaimer, it's a lot. We covered everything. So I don't want to hear from the judge or Peekaboo, whatever her name is, Latifah James. Was she Rick James' sister? I don't know. But she sat behind me in court, and I could feel her eyes drilling in the back of my head, and that's why my hair fell out. So thank you so much for coming down here late tonight. I just flew in from New York. I don't think I'm going back, but I'm going to have to. But thank you so much. I don't think the restaurant's open, but if you guys want to grab some snacks, I'm not going to, I'll have to charge you, but because I don't give anything away. But have a fantastic night. Thank you so much. I'm going to bed. I'm not going to sleep, but I'm going to go to bed. I'm not happy. All right. Hello, everybody. It's me, President Trump, greatest president in the history of presidents. And a lot of people say when I talk, I go like this. But what I need you to do is to go like this, or like this, or this, whatever it is, to make sure you subscribe to this video channel. And not only that, hit the notification bell, because you'll want to know when the latest video is coming out. So subscribe and hit the bell. Ding, ding, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bong, ding, dong, bing, bong. Believe me.